Good morning and welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. Coming to you on the amazing technology that we're able to be together, even if we're not in the same physical space. Thank you. My name is Marianne Atwell Hardy, and we're going to start today, as we always do, with a meditation. And so I invite you just to really take a deep breath, maybe the deepest you've taken today. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and let it go. And I'm going to first do a reading and then we'll get quiet. So the reading is from Kate Bowler's book, The Lives We Actually Have. And it's a blessing for when you need to hold on or let go. God, sometimes it feels like a better person wouldn't be like this, tethered to so many hopes and fears and expectations. Blessed are we who are pulled between wanting to let go, sometimes needing to let go, and also needing to hold on. Blessed are we when we yearn for connection and love and touch. Blessed are we when we hunger for the beauty of life itself and the people to fill it. Blessed are we when we are unable to say, I'm letting it go, because we feel we'll be washed away into an ocean of nothingness. Teach us to cling to the truths that enliven our spirits and loosen our grip on the painful untruths, like the one that says that we are alone or unlovable, or that desire itself is the enemy. Teach us to hunger for what is good and be filled. There will be no easy addition and subtraction. We will lose and we will gain, and almost none of it will make much sense at the time, and it will force our hands open. In the ebb and flow of wins and losses, comings and goings, may we look for the divine in the mystery of it all. The stubbornness of flowers that still smile at us in the grocery store, and the need for endless small reminders that the pain of it all, the comedy of it all, will point us back to love. So, getting comfortable, opening your hands, just as the blessing said, so that we are able to receive, that every part of our being is receptive to all the love that surrounds us at all times. I invite you to just get quiet, and we'll have about 15 minutes of just music. So as the music fades, I invite you to remain open, to letting go of that which no longer serves, and having open hands so you're willing to receive all that God has in store for each one of us, always and ever available. Just knowing that love is the bottom line. So just come back into your space. Seal this in your heart. And I thank you for joining us and preparing yourself and the space for what will follow next. So we will see you back at 10:15 when the service starts. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with a choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, or where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. So very glad that you have chosen to join us this morning. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and the privilege of being this community's spiritual director. Our center, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, is part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life. A global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries worldwide. Our community is the spiritual home for a diverse group of people who are seeking a deep and abiding connection with each other and with that is greater than ourselves. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God. We do this within a sacred and supportive community that welcomes everyone just as they are. Our mission is the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. We do this through celebration, service, study, fellowship, and the energy of unconditional love. And our vision is a world that actually does work for all. We do this by consciously practicing the truth of our oneness and unity with God in our everyday lives. You are welcome here no matter where you are on your spiritual path. Today, July 6th, is the Dalai Lama's 90th birthday. Happy birthday to the Dalai Lama. The 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, was born in Takstur, a small town in northeastern Tibet. At age 2, he was identified as the reincarnation of the 13th Dalai Lama through a centuries-old Tibetan tradition that blends spiritual signs and oracles and searches for a child that has been born around the time of the previous Dalai Lama's transition. He was officially recognized as the 14th Dalai Lama and formally enthroned in 1940 at age 4, and assumed full political power at age 15 in 1950, just as China was asserting control over Tibet. The Dalai Lama has made the hillside town of Dharamsala his headquarters since fleeing from Tibet after a failed uprising against Chinese rule in 1959. As the spiritual leader of the Tibetan Buddhism, he has taught compassion, mindfulness, and interfaith harmony throughout the world. His message is universally spiritual, often described as secular ethics. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989 for his nonviolent struggle for the liberation of Tibet, emphasizing dialogue over conflict. He has met with world leaders, scientists, and interfaith groups advocating for peace, human rights, and environmental stewardship. He says, "We have a universal responsibility to change the course of history, to guide it in a more positive direction, a universal order that works for the welfare of the whole of mankind and all sentient beings. Such a civilization with a heart, a planetary society animated by the deepest values of the human family, selfless love, compassion, kindness, non-harming, sharing, and the elimination of poverty, homelessness, disease, hunger, domestic violence, and weapons of mass destruction, can become an actuality even in our lifetime if we are willing to work for it. We have this responsibility both individually and collectively, and this responsibility extends to the whole earth itself. If we can envision it, then we have an alternative." So happy birthday to the 14th Dalai Lama. Our regular announcements, no Sean today, but I'm going to try to do it as well as he does. Our announcements for the upcoming month of July. Today, clearly, we are online only. July 13th, we will be live in person at 4 Points by Sheridan. Meditation, the regular time, 9:45, with service at 10:15. There will be a potluck to follow, so please join us, bring a dish, and join us for fellowship after the service. July 20th, we will again be online only. Meditation 9:45 and service at 10:15. And then July 27th, we will have a special event at the Hindu temple in Morrisville. Now, more specifics are to come as I continue to work with them around this. But on July 27th, we will be at the Hindu temple in Morrisville. Our second announcement is to remind everybody to please join us on Wednesday evenings for our Wednesday evening services. The evening is called the Wednesday Experience, a look at life through meditation, music, metaphysics, and magic. It is really a wonderful opportunity to come together, to deepen our practice with one another, have our voice be heard, and hear inspiring shares by like-minded people. The service will be held on Zoom from 7 until 8:15, and the link will be on the Wednesday newsletter and also on our website. I am so excited to announce our annual friend and fundraiser, Gourmets for God, is back. Gourmets for God is a unique community builder and fundraiser for our community center. Throughout the month of July, we will be accepting hosts and events. The events are created and hosted by TCSL people. They involve inspired meals and other activities of all kinds, such as casual picnics at sunset, elegant meals with charades, fun food-related outings, cooking classes, a craft-related event with lunch, and more. Gourmets for God hosts, sponsor, and host the events, and they can be simple or elaborate. Some hosts provide pizza, while others use their own unique passion and creativity to provide culinary delights. Not that pizza isn't a culinary delight, but you know what I mean. No cooking skills are required. Costco and BJ's Warehouse cook perfectly well. It doesn't have to be fancy since it's just for fun and the joy of being together and making new friends. But don't let that stop your creativity if you are an experienced chef or a genuine foodie. Hosts can sponsor more than one event. Perhaps you can cook and your friend has a special talent. So pair up and co-host to offer a distinctive event. Complete a separate host registration form for each event. You can access those on our website. And also, there was a constant contact that came out, and you can get to those links through that constant contact. As I said, complete that host registration for each event. And once your potential dates are determined and your plans fully developed, then please submit that host registration as soon as possible. We will be accepting them beginning today and through the month of July. To avoid scheduling 2 or more events on the same date and time, please secure your event date now. If you wish to check on any calendar dates, please contact Heather. Then throughout August, we will facilitate a silent auction. The silent auction begins on Sunday, August 3rd, and ends on Sunday, August 31st. If you've participated in other silent auctions before, you most likely bid to buy the whole event. Now, in Gourmets for God, you're bidding for a seat at the event. If the event holds 6 people, then you're bidding for 1 or more of those seats. You can also bid for more than 1 seat if you plan to really take a spouse or a partner or a friend. Anyone can bid, and there is no limit to how many events you can bid on. And you don't need to be a TCSL member to participate. Please bring your friends and have them find out more about our community. Then come the events from September 13th through December 13th. Be on the lookout for more information through constant contact, but as I said before, we are beginning to accept registrations for hosts and events beginning today through the end of July. This is a RSVP announcement for our annual meditation retreat to be facilitated at St. Francis Springs Meditation and Prayer Center, Friday evening, September 5th through Sunday afternoon, September 7th. This is the weekend after Labor Day. We have space for the first 30 people to register. The cost is $390 for a double room per person and $490 for a single room. This includes the accommodations, all of your food, and the actual meditation retreat itself. You can register with a $50 deposit through our website or by emailing info@trianglecsl.org. Please consider treating yourself to this very sacred and loving weekend. Speaking of loving, thank you so very much to Marianne Atwell Hardy for her beautiful meditation that expanded the container that our service will unfold within. Thank you very much, Marianne. And now please welcome her back to the screen.
Thank you, Rep Dusty.
Thank you.
The theme for the year 2025 is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. Our theme for the month of July is Rolling in the Deep. And Rep Dusty's message today is Remember. And now open your hearts and add your blessing to the blessing of all faiths.
We are now going to do our blessings of all faiths. And I'd like you to welcome to the front my husband John and Marianne. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The science of mind and spirit is the path of divine principle, the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love, that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And now I'd like to speak a blessing on the service. And so I invite you to close your outer eyes. And I recognize that the Infinite One, that source of everything, is in, as, and through all of us. And I consciously share in the gifts of life. I open my whole being to the divine influx of good. I empty myself of everything that denies this good, and I establish in my mind an expectancy, a feeling that all the good there is belongs to everyone who will take it. I am receiving this divine gift now, and I know that all within the sound of my voice, whether today or later when you're listening, can partake in this fountain of good, this divine gift. And so I enjoy this gift and pass it on. Freely I give everything I have, blessing this gift as it passes through me to others, that it may be multiplied in their experience and in God's good. And I speak a blessing on everyone who participated in the creation of this service. Heather Abbott, who is the magic behind us all appearing here today. The wonderful Reverend Dusty, as she speaks from her heart, a truly inspiring message for us all. Cindy Johnson, as she shares her gift of song and joy with all of us, and the beloved congregation, knowing that all is in divine right order. And so it is. The reading this morning is from Reverend Scott Aubrey. He says, "There is a place of stillness within us, a heightened awareness from which we can gaze into the depths of our own being. When we look deeply into the mystery, we can see what was previously obscured, not just the challenges or patterns that orbit our lives, but the great beauty, the cosmic order, and the unseen support that surrounds us. This sacred watching isn't passive, it's active wonder. It's choosing to believe that the universe and our spirit are worth the patient gaze. The Rubin Observatory reminds us that when we look deeply and steadily enough, the universe opens. The hidden becomes seen, and what we discover has the power to transform everything we thought we knew." And now, the wonderful, talented, beautiful, and inspiring Cindy Johnson is going to gift us with her first song.
Good morning. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. Scared, lost in the dark, you took my hand, gently led me to the light, back to the path, back to the truth, back to the place I am whole, filled with love, deep in the peace. I whisper, I hear a whisper from the past, as you reminded me who I am. I am a child of God. Another spoke in spirit's wheel. I am spirit. I am loved. I am healed. You are me. I am you. We'll walk together through this world, as you reminded me who I am. I am remembering who I am.
you so very much, Cindy. That was beautiful. I love it when you do a mashup. Take those two songs and put them together so brilliantly, and both of them fit the topic of today's message. So thank you so very much, Cindy. So appreciate you and your beautiful voice. So welcome to those of you who may have just joined us. Our theme for the month of July is Rolling in the Deep. And the intention for this month is really for each of us to unlock the power within us and to embark on a transformative journey to discover the path to living fully and authentically, guided by the divine intelligence that unites us all. So it sounds a little lofty, but I am sure that we're up to the task. So the talk today is remember. And to remember is to have in or to be able to bring into our mind an awareness of someone or something that we have seen or known or experienced in the past. It is to recollect, or to really bring into our memory, to call into our memory. Now, within the scope of the monthly theme and our underlying intention, I have 3 discussion points for us today. And the first is to remember our ancestors. Reverend Chris Alexander says this idea of remembering is tied closely to our core belief of interconnectedness, divine wisdom, and the power of consciousness. Our ancestors embody the continuity of life and the universal intelligence that flows through all beings. By remembering and honoring them, we tap into a wellspring of resilience, wisdom, and strength that transcends generations. This practice reflects our understanding that we are part of an infinite spiritual lineage where the divine presence within us is a direct inheritance from those who came before us. So our ancestors are the threads that are the web of our identity. They are the keepers of our lineage, the bearers of our stories, and the architects of our families. By remembering and honoring them, we acknowledge the importance of these really intricate connections that we have. Each ancestor adds a unique hue to the fabric of our existence. Their experiences, their hardships, and their triumphs contribute to a mosaic of who we are today. Our ancestors were not just individuals who happened to live in the past. They were the pioneers, the dreamers, the warriors, and the visionaries. Their lives, filled with ups and downs just like ours, are valuable lessons and wisdom for each of us that transcend time. By learning from their experiences, we gain knowledge into how we can better navigate our own paths and our own journeys. Our family history shows us resilience in the face of adversity, determination in the pursuit of our dreams, and enduring strength, the enduring strength of unity and love. These lessons can guide us through our own challenges, inspire us to persevere through them, and to assist us to really be able to appreciate the depth of the human spirit. Ancestral remembrances also allow us to embrace the natural cycle of life and death. Just as our ancestors once walked on this earthly plane, we too will one day become ancestors to future generations. Understanding this interconnectedness provides a profound sense of continuity and purpose. When we gather together to remember and honor our ancestors, we create a sacred space where familial bonds are strengthened and fortified. The stories we share, the moments that we cherish, and the rituals that we uphold all really serve to unite us in a way that is both comforting and uplifting. The active remembrance and honoring of our ancestors is a deeply spiritual experience. It allows us to be able to tap into a realm in which we can actually sense. We can sense the people that have come before us. As a form of a spiritual practice, this connection offers a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm. The reverence that we hold for our ancestors is reciprocated as they continue to watch over us and guide us along our path. In a world that often prioritizes individualism, remembering our ancestors reconnects us to something larger and reminds us of our shared humanity. When we remember our ancestors, we see ourselves as part of a larger narrative that really transcends our individual lives. And this tends to ground us, offering a foundation of community and a deep sense of belonging. When we honor our roots, we are reminded of the diversity of human experience and the beauty of each culture's unique stories and contributions. By valuing our own heritage, we learn to respect and appreciate the cultures of others, creating a world that celebrates the richness of human diversity. Remembering our ancestors encourages us to live with greater awareness, intuition, and gratitude. As we recognize the sacrifices and the triumphs of those who came before us, we are inspired to make choices that really reflect their values and honor their legacy. This practice brings us closer to the earth and to our communities, reminding us to live in harmony and reciprocity. Now, the second discussion point is to remember our personal power. Our personal power is really integral to the science of mind teachings, right? We emphasize that our thoughts and our beliefs shape our reality. So reclaiming our personal power involves recognizing and honoring our divine nature, our divine creativity, that ability that we have within us to shape our reality. The underlying truth is that it is our responsibility and our responsibility alone to really fill our lives with limitless possibilities and supportive relationships. We are solely responsible for the quality of the life that we live. When reclaiming our power, it is important to remember that taking full responsibility for our lives isn't easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it, and everybody is not doing it. So it is much easier, really, to complain about the way that things are, to blame others, and to make excuses than it is to really investigate, to really understand and make changes of our own behavior. So for those of us that are struggling to reclaim our personal power, it is probably because we are blaming others for causing the circumstances of our lives. We might be complaining about how we would feel so much better if somebody would only treat us better, or if somebody would only behave differently, behave the way that we want them to behave. We may be making excuses as a way of really justifying our current experience. So the invitation today is that instead of blaming others, that we reclaim our personal power by recognizing and honoring our divine nature. The underlying truth is that we were created by and in the image and likeness of God, that we were created out of God's stuff. And what is more personal or more powerful than that? Who we are is that divine presence. We have within us a spark of the divine. And no matter how often we forget that truth, it is still always and forever the truth. So the invitation is to stop complaining and stop blaming and take note of how we are ourselves really contributing to the experiences of our lives. Turn away from focusing on what's wrong and really turn our focus towards solutions. Decide what it is that we would rather have happen or that we would rather experience, and think about what we can do and begin to actually do that in order to create that kind of experience. The bottom line is that we always have a choice. We always have a choice about what we think, about how we feel, and about what we do in response to life's events. We really do have the power to create the life that we want to be living. And the third discussion point is unlearning to remember. Unlearning to remember. As a society, we were taught that learning is adding to. The more information that we accumulate, the better. However, everything that we know, everything that has brought us to this point, can actually hinder new learning. Rather than piling up information, we must be prepared to let go of old thoughts and old ideas and old beliefs and to adopt new ones. The idea is to unlearn and relearn. Lao Tzu says, to attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. Once there was a university professor who was known as an extremely knowledgeable person. He had a very keen interest in Zen Buddhism practices and wanted to learn more. So he traveled a long distance to visit a very famous Japanese Zen master in order to learn the pearls of Zen wisdom. When he reached the Zen master's place, his disciples took him to the Zen master's private room. And after welcoming his visitor, the Zen master asked the professor the reason for his visit. The professor said, "I have come to you to teach me about Zen." The Zen master thought for a moment and then asked the professor, "You are known for your knowledge everywhere. Please share something with me first." So one by one, the professor started telling him about all of his different research projects that he had going. And after some time, he started sharing his knowledge about Zen. Now, after listening to him for an hour, the Zen master interrupted him and asked him if he would like to enjoy some tea. Now, knowing that he should accept, the professor smiled and thanked the Zen master for his generosity. One of the Zen master's disciples disappeared and then quickly returned with 2 cups and some steaming hot tea. The Zen master started pouring the tea into one of the cups as he was smiling at the professor. As he did so, the professor continued to share his knowledge on Zen. All the while, the Zen master was pouring the tea slowly until the cup was full. But he did not stop there. He kept pouring the tea into the cup. The tea started overflowing onto the table. The professor noticed it and continued to watch as it overflowed. And soon it not only spilled out onto the table, but it was spilling off the table onto the robes of the professor, who could no longer restrain himself. He put up his hands and he exclaimed, "Stop! Can't you see the cup is full already? It is overflowing. No more will go into it." But the Zen master did not stop. He continued to keep pouring the tea. Ultimately, the professor got angry and he rushed toward the gate to leave. The Zen master called after him, "Professor, please listen." But the professor did not. So the Zen master ran after him and stopped him. He then calmly explained to the professor the reason that he kept pouring the tea into the cup, even after it overflowed. The Zen master said, "You are here to ask questions, yet you come full. You have your own ideas and you have no space. Until you have room for more, you will not accept new information. You are like that cup of tea. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" Unlearning is so much more than just replacing old information with new. It involves questioning and challenging our assumptions, our biases, and our attitudes. It involves really being open to new perspectives and new experiences. In other words, we must discard our pre-existing beliefs in order to make room for fresh ideas. The empty cup metaphor invites us to challenge our ingrained beliefs and outdated habits. We must first unlearn what we think we know in order to relearn what we need to know. Author and psychology professor Adam Grant once said, "One of the dangers of living in a rapidly changing world is that we end up carrying around mental fossils in our head. All opinions and assumptions that might have made sense in a previous version of the world, but are no longer true." I love this idea, mental fossils. So the underlying idea is that we are all born into a story of what life is, a story of what it means to be successful or valuable or normal even, a story about God, about gender, about race, about power, and about morality. A story that was written long before we arrived, by culture, by religion, by families, or by history. We were taught to stay small, to fit in. Over time, we internalized the script, and even after a little longer period of time, we began to forget that there was even a script at all. But now, as we begin to wake up, that script begins to feel foreign. It feels heavy. It feels fake. And we begin to ask the questions that we were taught never to ask. The very act of questioning becomes our first act of remembrance. All of us carry inherited patterns and societal narratives that may limit our potential and obscure our true nature. To reclaim our true selves, we must dismantle our harmful narratives and to reject those things that no longer work in our lives. They impose on our understanding of who we are at our very core. They get in the way of us remembering the truth of who we are. This unlearning process involves critically examining the beliefs and the biases that we have internalized, that we have bought into over our lifetime, and then consciously rejecting them if necessary. By letting loose these imposed falsehoods, we can access our internal wisdom and our internal dignity and our internal power. The invitation is to unlearn these belief systems that we bought into, these belief systems that may have worked for us when we were younger, but are no longer working now, are no longer working in the world that we are living in today. The bottom line is that we do not dishonor our past by questioning it. We honor it by evolving beyond it. The invitation is to unlearn the fear that keeps us from taking risks, from telling the truth, from claiming our soul, and from expressing our highest and best self. The invitation is to unlearn our current self-imposed identity. We are not our trauma. We are not our income. We are not our religion or our brand or our nationality or our public image. Those are just merely outer garments. They are not our essence. This process of unlearning and remembering enables us to connect with our true selves, and to affirm our inherent dignity and to claim our potential and to live in harmony with the universal intelligence that guides and sustains us. Cindy sang about it. I am remembering who I am. So today, the invitation is to embody this idea of remembering as the first step to unlocking the power within us and to embark on this sacred journey to discover the path to living fully and authentically. And I affirm for each and every single one of us today that we will all be glad that we did. And so it is. And so it is. So I now invite us to please turn within as I speak a word of prayer about and for each of us today. Truly knowing, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that truth that there is a power and presence that I call God, but goes by many different names, that is within us and surrounding us. A power and presence that is always ready, willing, and able to support us, to guide us, to sustain us. A power and presence that we were created in the image and likeness of, so that right where we are, God is in its fullness and in its wholeness. We are one with that presence, one with each other, and one with life itself. This is the truth of our being. This is the space and place, the idea, the understanding, the remembering of who we are at our very core, that is the place to live our lives from. And I claim ease and grace for us around doing so, around getting quiet enough to remember who we were when we arrived on the planet, to remember who and what is within us, to recognize that power as the power of that created everything, and to know that that power is also available to us. That we really do, through our creative power, create the experiences of our lives, and that if we do not like the experiences that we are having, we can change them by changing our thoughts, by changing our beliefs, by changing our ideas, by changing our actions. We are not stuck in one way of being. We really can look at each circumstance, each situation, each experience of our lives, and choose how we wish to be, how we wish to feel, what we wish to do out of that experience. And to know that it is a spiritual practice, but that as we practice it, it becomes easier and easier to come from that place. That place that remembers and honors our ancestors, and not blindly, but really understanding that they have brought us to this place, and that we can now look at the thoughts and the ideas and discern whether they are valid for us still. To honor those that are, to live from that place of deep connectedness to something larger than ourselves and to the earth, or to let them go. I know that that power is within us, whether we are seeing it in the moment or not, and that we can choose to realign with it. I know that there is that within us that knows what we know, and that we can let loose anything that is not in alignment with that inner knower, with that intuition, with that divine universal intelligence. I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. And so I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. And I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you all so very much. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. This is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to continue to be a beacon of light and love for ourselves and for others. Together we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are 3 ways that you can give. They're here on your screen. Visit our website at trianglecsl.org. Text the word give to 919-629-9148, or actually send us a check at PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina 27519. I invite you to turn within while I speak a word of blessing on this offering, knowing that the process itself is an opportunity to stand in an expanded view of all of the ways that we are abundant, and to focus our attention on all of this abundance by practicing sharing and giving. That by recognizing our good and being willing to give some of it away, we enter into the law of circulation and participate in the powerful flow of the universe. I know that as each of us enters into this eternal flow of giving and receiving, that the gift we give comes back to us. The blessing and the blessed are one. Thank you all for your gift, and thank you, God, for the gift of each and every single one of you. And so it is. And now, please welcome back to her piano the amazing, the powerful, the wonderful Cindy Johnson. Cindy, you are muted somehow, some way.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let me change this setting on my sound so that I don't hear you all. Never mind. Okay. All right, here we go. Maybe. Oh. Here we are. Sorry.
Cindy, I don't know if something happened to your camera or what, but we're not in this moment seeing you or hearing you. How about we invite Babs back, and once everything gets situated, then we'll have Cindy sing us out.
All righty then. In the comfort of your own home, please stand or not for our July 6th affirmation. This is a call and response, and Marianne Hardy will be assisting me with this. Today, I am invited to embark on a transformative journey of remembering who I am.
Today, I am invited to embark on a transformative journey of remembering who I am.
This journey requires me to deepen my connection with my ancestors and with the world around me.
This journey requires me to deepen my connection with my ancestors and the world around me.
I am also encouraged to step into a process of unlearning my old beliefs that no longer serve my highest good.
I'm also encouraged to step into a process of unlearning my old beliefs, which no longer serve my highest good.
As I release these old beliefs, I step into my personal power, becoming more attuned to the wisdom and resilience that reside within me.
As I release these old beliefs, I step into my personal power, becoming more attuned to the wisdom and resilience that resides within me.
Today, I embrace this opportunity to unlearn, to reconnect, and to live fully with an open heart and a spirit of gratitude for the endless possibilities that lie ahead.
Today, I embrace this opportunity to unlearn, to reconnect, and to live fully with an open heart and spirit of gratitude for the endless possibilities that lie ahead.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now I invite all of us to turn within, to take a deep dive, to recognize that old patterns that no longer serve us are simply a thing of the past, to recognize that in this very moment and in every moment, we can choose a new thought, we can choose a new belief, we can choose a new action, and that choice itself is empowering. That knowing that behind these choices is the infinite good of spirit, of God, of life itself. And so I embrace this new opportunity, many opportunities, and I embrace the opportunity to recognize when these new ideas come to me and to choose them. And I'm so grateful to know that this is what and who I am. And so it is.
Well, we're going to try again. Believe it or not, my computer jumped off my keyboard. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, that's the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry where or when or how. Just enjoy the moment now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing. Amazing. You will do amazing, amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much, Cindy. And thank you to everyone, to Heather for all of the behind the scenes work, for Babs, and for Marianne as practitioners and platform host. Just for everyone that tuned in, whether you did that live or you will watch later, just thank you to everyone in our community for the continual support. Please join us next week live in person at 4 Points by Sheridan, where we will celebrate all of the July birthdays and all the rest of us with a potluck following the service. So please come and join us for that. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I love you very much.